Okay guys, I'm using beer. It's not a really exciting part of the whole process, but it's one that I'm sure other people have videoed, but I know that I usually skip it. And so we're going to get together the grist for the snickerdoodle. So let me turn this around. So I have my list, have all my assorted grains, have my sexy green bowl, which I agree is not all that sexy, but what I do know is it doesn't go missing if it shows up in my beer stuff. And so, well, let's go in order. I should have had some of this taken out. That's 40, and I don't want that. Okay. Biscuit. Now, this biscuit actually says that it's right, but we don't know that that's true. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go get the tripod, see if we can get this camera on it so that I don't have to hold it. Just a second. Okay, actually, now we need to recheck this. Although it's probably accurate, we don't know that. I'm not 100% sure I got the tare set before I did that, because it came out above a pound, which is acceptable. Okay, from 0. Okay, and that is the same. So, it actually came out as 1.11 pounds, and I'm not going to change it, but I am going to keep track of it, so that when I brew this, if I need to change it or adjust something, I know where I started. Now I need 1 pound of black. Now the 1 pound of black will actually be a pound, because I'm actually doing that. There's really no point in keeping 0.11 pounds of biscuit laying around. Oh, pretty good. Dead on, 1 pound. And so we have 1.11 pounds of biscuit. To that we're adding 1 pound of black malt. Next we need 1 pound of 60. Oh, there's the 60. Once again, it's pre-measured, so we'll see how accurate their pre-measure is. I did recheck to see that the tare was still at 0. This is 1.01. We're not going to write that difference down. That's close enough. In. Now, 1 pound of 6 row. Alright, here's our 6 row. Once again, the reason we have 6 row in there is because of the oats. We'd like that to work out, and that's 1 pound. Speaking of the oats, we're going to put the 2 pounds of oats in right now. I'm actually going to have to weigh those out. So there's my 1 pound of 60, because one of these got opened. We put a little bit in the rye for mouthfeel. Not enough to add any flavor or anything, just a little bit for mouthfeel. And so and we're going to be a little light. We should not have been, but we're only a touch light. Right now it looks like we're at 1.8, so we'll adjust that. 1.8 pounds of oats. I just want them in there. I don't want them all in the top, so I wanted them grain over top of them. Okay, so now we're down to 2 row and Maris Otter. We're going to put some Maris Otter in this. This is a stout. I like a little of that English feel there, you know, so we're going to put some Maris Otter in there. We can do this without making too much of a mess here. Yeah. So we're going to go with 4 pounds of Mara solder. May or may not fit in this green bowl. We'll see. Might be doing it 2 pounds at a time here. Nah. I think I can go at least 3. Let's see. I think there should be like 6 left in this bag, so I can't put this bag in there. 35, 36, 37, 38, 395, 397. 4 pounds of Mara solder. Now, as a clue, it's already a huge mistake that's occurred, and you guys watched it about 20 seconds ago. The oats. All of this grain's got to go through my mill. Now the oats are going to go through the mill, which is probably going to make everything a little stickier and gummier. But we did have the 6 row in there, and the 6 row has 2 advantages. One is that it gives you extra enzymes for adjuncts. The other is it has significantly more husk than 2 row, which helps eliminate the need for like rice hulls in a mash that's going to be sticky and have some of those problems, which is why we like to have some 2 row with the rye, because the rye can get to be a gummy mash, and so adding the 6 row adds the hulls is what you're looking for there. You're looking for a little better grain bed. You're not as concerned about enzymes with that. But alright, now we need 4 pounds, 2 row. Then we're going to look here and see whether we want to add a little more 2 row because of the differences in some of our other grains. Because we'd rather make sure our gravity comes close. And with this one, it's going to sit for a while, so we can handle it. I think I'd rather have the gravity go high in this instead of light. Actually, my last mixed beer that I made for my brother-in-law came out a little light. That had to do with the actual mashing process. I know where it happened, but I didn't like that. So there's the 4 pounds. And that would be the grist. That would be everything. We're down 0.2, we're up 1. Okay, so we're only down 0.1 in this grist. So I don't know. Yeah, let's make it 4.1 pounds of 2 row. So it's not going to be a lot extra, but unless it times out just as I dump that in there. Alright. That's how much we're making up. But that's just to make up for what we were light in oats as far as make sure the gravity is good. Actually, the gravity should end up a little high then, because the oats don't add nearly as much to the gravity as the 2 row should. I need some place to put all of this whilst I wait. I need another bucket. We are going to pick up the camera. See, because it's sitting right on that lip. That's not the way we want to do that. We want that to be free and clear. Okay, here we go. We have this bucket as a bigger hopper. We have a Corona mill in there. We have that bucket, and there is a gap there. You see I have that propped inside so that that's not resting on that. And then there's the bucket we're going to grind our grist into. We're going to fill this up a fair amount and see how this goes. Okay, I'm about to hook the drill to this. So the plan was to put a little bit of grain in this hopper. I failed on that. I just got to it and just kept going. So let's see how we do. The day many thought would never get here. We're moved kind of inside the porch here. Inside the inside porch, because the outside porch is really cold today. And I'm going to heat the water out there, but I'm going to do the mash in here. And this is the grist for the SnickerdoodleStout. We're actually going to get this bad boy put down today. So let's see how it goes. Now there is a box of graham crackers in the mash. I originally said I was going to put it in at the 5-minute boil, and I am still going to put a box in at the 5-minute boil, but I found a guy's recipe where he'd done it 30 times apparently, and he was very happy with his results, and he was putting it in the mash, and so we are also going to put it in the mash. And in theory, there's enough enzymes in here, some of the sugar in there might actually convert, so that's interesting. Alright, we'll heat the strike and get to it. Okay, and for 2 reasons, this is my biggest strike volume ever. One, I had a large volume. I want to make sure that I have enough to bottle, and I want to be able to decide whether to bottle some and keg, and I won't decide till later. Plus, just with all the stuff in this, I'm not sure how much I'm going to lose to the process between the mash and the primary and the secondary, and this one's definitely getting a secondary fermenter, so it's the biggest volume I've ever done. And it's a pretty big beer, but yeah, it's almost a 20 quart. I'll check the temperature and start the timer on mashing. Let's see how we did. The Brew Smith is pretty good. And I don't know if you can see that, but we are right around 53, 54, which is where we said we would be at the beginning. We're hoping to run from 53-ish to 50. Okay, kind of loud, but we are heating sparge water. We're doing sparge in 2 different spots this time. We're doing some actually in the kitchen. And I'll explain that here in a minute. We're getting there, so we're not going to go very far. This is the first sparge. And the second sparge I'm actually heating on the stove, because the first runnings I'll run into a fermenter type bucket, but then after that sparge is done, this water, I will dump this water in, or I will take this bucket and put it underneath, because this is the boil kettle, and so then I'll be draining the last stuff straight into the boil kettle, and it just saves me a transfer step later, makes things easier. And since I'm kind of down at the house now, it's a lot easier to do the second sparge's water on the stove. Second and third are actually set up, and they're actually a little warm. They're cooling as we speak, but it'll be a while before they're ready, so that should be fine. This sparge is supposed to be 168, and we are at 168. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get my hot pads, and actually I'm just gonna cover this because we gotta do first runnings first. Where we ended up with our sparge water, we're hoping to be still close to 150. 52, which means we lost less than a degree in an hour. So very happy with those numbers. All right, I'm gonna get my Verloff cup and do the Verloff and start this bad boy going. All right, be back in a bit. See here. Yeah. All right, second. Okay, this is first runnings. You can tell that this bad boy is a stout. Look at that. What a first runnings. I'm going to check the chamber and we're good. We're not turned on yet, but we're going to start out warm, and so it's going to start by cooling. And if I turn it on now, it's going to try to warm that chamber right now, and so we'll wait until we put, it's plenty cold in here, we're going to wait until we put the bucket in to actually turn the temperature controller unit on. But yeah, here's a little bit of the wort. This is my first runnings. This is incredibly dark. I'm not putting this in, I'm just going to taste this one. Oh. Okay. We'll see how this stout comes out, but that's just sugar water. You know, it's not beer. There's no alcohol. It's just sugar. But I think I'm going to drink that just a minute when it cools off, just enough so it don't burn me. This should be a fun stout. I'm already happy, and we'll see how we do. But that is certainly the darkest first runnings I've ever had. Okay, we're going to scoop some of those out and get those drying in the oven, because those are really nice spent grains. We're going to use those for something. Now, boil has started. Not my best mash yet. But nothing that should really affect the beer. It was mostly a stuck sparge. I'll definitely use some rice hulls next time I do this recipe. 3 or 4 gallons had to go back through the mash tun to get filtered because it came through, because I had to pull the filter out when the sparge stuck on me. Basically got to let that run out until you can get your hands in there. It's sanitized or not, it's 150 degrees. So you need most of that liquid out of there before you can redo the filter. The screen went through okay the second time. Just took a lot more time than I would have liked, but we're underway. And the truth is that although the sparge stuck, the temperatures were good all the way through it. I was really happy with it, so I expect good conversion. I expect a good outcome. So nothing, like I said, that should affect us, our production in any way other than time and inconvenience. Alright, life is good. Okay, here we go with the first top edition. That's the Northern Brewer Bittering Edition, and see you in a bit. Okay, here we are, less than 2 minutes from flame out. Yep, there's a lot of stuff on top. That's the last box of graham crackers. And I'm thinking after we chill that we're going to try to strain some of that out of there before we transfer. We're going to strain when we transfer anyway, and we're definitely going to use a secondary with this batch. But at 10 minutes we added an ounce of Fuggles. We added a Whirlflock and some cinnamon sticks, and then at 5 minutes we added a box of cinnamon grams, and we're seconds from flame out, and then we're going to start chilling this bad boy. Okay, we have a airlock on, and she's in the cooler, and the probe is attached. We're not pitched yet because we're still a bit warm. And here we are, about 36 hours in, and we're bubbling away pretty nicely there. That is the SnickerdoodleStout looks good.